You are now listening to the Da and Fa Show. Da and Fa Show. Now listening. You are now listening to the Da and Fa Show.
Here it is, number 3.
Number 3.
Keith, how are you feeling? Or should I say Fa? That feels more appropriate. I've been dropping too many Keiths recently. It's making me a little upset, actually.
It's too formal.
It is. It's way too formal. When people call me Jared, I feel a little thrown off. Like
Yeah. You go, what did you say?
that is the exact reaction I had. Now, speaking of that, last night, Keith did a 12-hour stream.
Mm-hmm.
How did that go for you? A lot of what do you says?
A lot of what do you says, man. It went really good, though. I will say, definitely got off the rails a little bit at the end, which we knew, which I think we all knew was going to happen at some point. And, you know, those 12-hour streams, man, they're something else. They're like its own animal. But it went good, you know. Tabor, Ja joined pretty much, I think, the whole time. You were there pretty much from 10 to like 11, actually, or 12. I don't even know what time it was, to be honest, by the time we even ended. But it was great, man. We had a lot of viewers, a lot of visitors, a lot of people playing games with us. You know, it's always funny for me to think, like, some streamers, like a 12-hour stream isn't like a big deal. Because there's some streamers that just do 8 hours every day and all. But, dude, for the Morale Zone, when it's a 12-hour stream, people show up. They show out. And
no, go on. I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say it was just a great time. It was such good morale.
Oh yeah, dude. It was. Thankful to be a part of it. Thankful to be the Michael Strahan of the group.
Of course, dude. We played a lot of Fortnite. Got some dubs. Played some Apex. No dubs, unfortunately, but fun.
Happens.
I think the improvement on my end, personally, I think was enough for me in Apex. Even though we didn't have any dubs, I felt a lot better playing. I felt more comfortable. I felt like I knew what I was doing a little bit more.
For sure. It felt like we were in the games. Like, I mean, we were there. It's just at the very end we played, we were very, very drunk.
Yeah.
We were supposed, because the order was supposed to be, well, not supposed to be, but like the way it was going to go before Papele, Matthew Easterday, full name drop.
Yep. Drop.
Before he got on, or he got off, excuse me. We were going to play Apex, but I suppose he had something to do, maybe something with the dog.
Right.
He'll eventually be on, so we'll ask him then. We'll find out the deets.
We'll find out. Are we expecting a whole elaborate explanation? I'll probably be like, "Yeah, man, just got a little tired, had to jump off."
That's kind of what I'm almost hoping that it's incredibly anticlimactic. But it was a great time, dude. Like you said, everyone was showing up. The best part about the Morale Zone is just it's the same, not the same faces every time, but like it's the same people that are coming and bringing the morale every time. It's awesome. It's great to see. Everyone shows up. It's a great time. The 12-hour stream flies by in the blink of an eye.
Oh my god! Well, and that's what we kept saying. You know, just flew by. I am going to be making some highlights of it soon, so look out for that. It is funny, you know. I'm sitting at the desk where we do the Morale Zone, and it's a mess, man. I got to clean it up. You know, I just did like a quick, you know, run through, just kind of cleaned up. I still need to wipe everything down. A lot of stickiness from the beer and all. It got chaotic. I do want to say this though. We broke some records on the Morale Zone yesterday. One of the biggest one, we broke the longest time I've ever streamed. The new record was set yesterday, and let me just get the official time here. I got the phone in hand.
Yeah, nice, man. It was a great time.
The official time of the stream was 15 hours and 16 minutes. We streamed yesterday. You
guys went on after I got off? Oh, good for you, man.
Oh, it was absolute slop at that point.
What did you end up doing? Just Fortnite?
Yeah, just Allie kind of took charge on the stream for a while and was talking to Purple Moose, and Outlaw Jim was still there. Shout out Purple, of course. I have a little bit more to say about Purple in a little bit. But seriously, shout out Outlaw Jim, shout out Fish and Tabor, of course, TDN, Travis, Schubert20. If you're somehow listening to the pod, you are subscribed now. Thank you for that. I know I'm missing a bunch of people, but seriously, everyone, just thanks for showing up. It was a great time.
Everyone that shows up knows who. If they're listening, they know they show up. You know, like Yeah, they all the people always show up. You name them all. I mean, it's a great
All the biggies.
group of people. Yeah,
Kraus, Pop, those guys as well.
yeah.
Two other records we broke. Not only the longest stream ever, we maxed out at 14 viewers. That's a great
That's
a great
great,
accomplishment.
man. Congrats.
And
That's awesome. I didn't even know that.
We had 50 unique viewers.
Yes.
50 unique people.
That's awesome, man.
That's awesome. It was great morale. I mean, I think we did really well yesterday. We got a lot of dubs, in Rocket League and F Night, and me and TM played a little bit Phasmophobia earlier, a little scary game. Got a dub in that and all.
Speaking of TDN, one more shout out. Not So Shady. I'm sorry to interrupt. Go on.
Not So Shady. Absolutely. Shout out to Not So Shady. But yeah, dude, it was just a day of dubs, good morale, high energy. And real quick, back to Purple Moose, who was just skyrocketing the morale through the roof during the stream,
Thanks.
sending us the official John Fall logo and banner and little gifts, all sorts of stuff she sent. And so look out for those in this pod. I'm sure they'll be making an appearance. I'll have to get you on the Google Doc, I guess. I'll just send it to you or something.
Mm-hmm.
And you can just get everything there.
For the next upload, for this upload that'll be out tomorrow.
Yep.
I think it should be looking official.
Oh, for sure. Why not? We have it,
I could not believe how good when this comes out, it will be with it. I cannot believe how good they look. They look so clean.
No, seriously, Purple Moose, you killed it. And the best part about Purple Moose is we kind of didn't give her like too much of a direction. We were just kind of like, we record these in the mornings. Unfortunately, today it is past noon. That's my fault.
Who cares?
But, who cares? I'm still drinking coffee. You are too. So that's all that matters. But dude, seriously, shout out Purple Moose. She did an amazing job. She did. I didn't know what I wanted for the cover, but she did exactly what I wanted. I think. Like
no, I wholeheartedly agree. Everything yesterday felt like it was going perfectly to plan, and which is funny because the stream started off with Keith. Everything went wrong.
Yes,
that's so funny.
Forgot.
That's like one of those things where like that you get that first pile of shit out of the way, and then it's just smooth sailing from there. It didn't feel like we were doing anything for the rest of the stream. It just felt like hanging.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, the first hour was Bed Morales having audio issues, which I still don't really know why. They just kind of just reset my computer and they came on, so I don't know what was going on. But yeah, after that got through, we were smooth sailing, like you said, and we just went for it, man. We played all sorts of games. I did also just want to make a comment on the shirt I decided to wear today. Speaking of TDN, and I felt like it was fitting. Coffee and cream. TDN. Quick backstory: we had a dodgeball team in high school. Me, Taver, a bunch of the fun lums. We were actually white chocolate.
Yep.
But once we graduated, TDN had to take over, and he made the dodgeball team coffee and cream, and continued the legacy that we left behind.
An absolute legend, TDN. I can't wait until TDN's on.
Oh yeah, TDN will be on, and shout out TDN for playing so long yesterday. He was on for the first 5 hours, I think, 5.5 hours. So that's a long time. I mean, obviously, we did the 15, but however long everyone can stay on is plenty of time. It's a long time.
That is crazy that he was on for 5.5 hours because it felt like 10 minutes. Like no joke. Not in the best way. Like it felt like I blunk my eyes. I'm gonna roll with that. I blunked my eyes, man, and TDN was gone. But then he did show up in the comment section later, which made me so happy.
He did show up in the comment, and he did show up in the Discord one last time at the end.
Yes.
And he did have a shot with us, I believe.
Love that.
But yeah, lots of drinks. Schubert showed up, and another thing I wanted to say, I wrote it down so I didn't forget. While I was streaming yesterday, I was getting a lot of notifications from TikTok, but I didn't look at any of them. I didn't really care, really. And I eventually looked this morning, and I'm actually going to put this onto a question for you and just get your opinion. I actually got a little bit of a hate comment yesterday on one of my videos, which is funny. it was actually one promoting the 12-hour stream. And it was just like a really simple video just saying like what games I'd be playing and just like, show up if you can pretty much. And some guy commented and was like, I feel so sorry for you. You need to get a job and do something with your life. So who comes to the Morale Zone's aid? No other than Outlaw Jim starts messaging this guy back and forth. Those were all the notifications I was getting. Outlaw Jim, like, just talking nonsense to this guy. Like, this guy was probably like, okay, it's like not even worth it. Like, I'm just getting off here. But I'm just gonna throw that back at you. Like, what do you think about people that just kind of like, find these accounts or find stuff that people are doing and just kind of just try to bring them down with like comments? I mean, obviously it didn't affect me. Like, who cares? But like, sometimes that like really messes up people. And, it's sad that people just kind of go through stuff and just kind of add hate. It's not worth it.
It is not worth it.
If someone enjoys something, like, they enjoy it. And that's that.
Yeah, I mean, you hit the nail on the head. That's basically my viewpoint right there. I mean, like, going out of your way to put someone down, and they're putting effort and energy into it to even, I mean, like, you can have something to say, and you can put it in a constructive way, but to be so brazen about it is just like so hateful. And the funniest thing about all this shit is like, people sit behind a screen and do this shit. Like, there's so much anonymity to this. You can just be behind a screen and it doesn't matter at all. Mm-hmm. Like, that's the sad part. Like, why are you would you say that to the person in real life? Absolutely not. And I don't mean that in a threatening way. I mean it in like this person's a cynic, and they probably sit there at home and they have nothing better to do, so they say shit like that.
Yeah, no, exactly. And that's exactly how I feel, man. It was just so funny, like, getting done this stream that just promotes just good morale and just having fun. And and there's still people that try to bring it down. It's just like, what, doesn't matter. It's like, we're having fun, we're having a good time. And if you want to be a hater about it, you wish you could be in it.
Exactly. Well, like, that's, I think the important thing is how you handle it. Like, if you let it roll off your shoulders and you don't feed into it, like, that's a good thing. Just, they have their shit to say and they can say it. Sure. Like, I'm just, you keep doing your thing because you're doing the right thing. Like, you, Keith, of course. Like, right. You're promoting good morale and inclusiveness, and this person just trying to bring you down for no reason. Fuck them, and just not that you take it personally, but you just let that shit go. Like.
Yeah, exactly. And hey, you know what? John Font might have some haters at some point.
Yeah, I mean,
I embrace them.
Everything's got haters for no reason. Like, you cannot like things. Like I said, you cannot like things and be constructive about it. Like, you don't have to be. You don't have to be a complete dickhead. Like,
right. Exactly. No, and there is ways to go about stuff like that. Like you're saying, like, something that I found really interesting yesterday that I started telling you on the stream, and then we can go on to our coffee drinks of the day and whatnot. But I was getting so many. So I was able to get a few more followers yesterday, which is always good morale. But almost every single follower I got said, check your whispers. And your whispers are pretty much just like your direct messages on Twitch. Like if you were to DM someone on Twitter or something. And every single one was so strange. Like, it was like, hey man, love the stream. Really hope that you can come and support my stream. And, please make a donation. Any amount will do. $100, $200, donate. And I'm like, what, dude? Like, no offense, but like, no way, man. Like I'd be more than happy to support the stream. I'd be more than happy to, watch it and check it out. But like, these people, dare I say, are ballsy, to be sending stuff like that. Like, geez, like, I mean, at least you can say they're up front. But I mean, this craziness.
Is this a real person, or is this like a bot trying to fish you?
Well, that's what I wasn't sure. And I thought like maybe it was a bot, but the fact that it was like 3 or 4 different people, and they had like actual pictures like on their avatars. Like, usually when it's just a bot, they don't even go that far. It's just like the generic, avatar, just like blank thing. But so that's kind of why it makes me think they're real people, but who knows? You know, I mean, it could be really anything, but I just thought that was interesting throughout the day. I was getting them, but hey, you know, they're more followers for the Morale Zone, so I can't complain too much. And if they are real people, I'd love to come check out your stream. Can't guarantee I'm going to donate $100, but hey, I'll be there.
You'll bring the morale. That's free,
I'll bring the morale, and that's free.
and that's worth more than $100. That's worth billions.
Billions, priceless, as they say.
All right. So
But-
what you drinking today?
So, you know, since I was late, I didn't have any time to do anything too special. I'm almost done. Just doing my
Nice.
classic iced coffee, almond creamer. Actually, before I streamed yesterday, I had to go out and get more because we went out. We
Silk?
ran out. Silk, of course.
Thank God.
You know, me and Allie, I did forget to mention to you last week, we always buy 2 creamers when we go because we go through it so quick.
Love it.
We always just get 2 because it's like, I mean, why wouldn't we? It's not like it's
You're
going to
gonna
go
use
bad.
it.
We go
Yeah,
through it
exactly.
so quick. And then, you know, between both of us, I mean, both of us usually have at least 2 coffees each a day. So it's like, you know, we run through it. And, you know, it was actually a really good cup of coffee. I'm probably going to get more at some point today. Maybe after we're done the pod or maybe in the middle of the pod. Who knows?
Yeah.
But,
Do it. Yeah. If you need some coffee, man, it's got. I heard you texted me this morning. Well, hold on. Let me say that I was up somehow at like
Holy-
8:30. I
I
texted
don't
Keith.
know.
I knew that I was in a state, and I knew that Keith was going to be in a state waking up. So I preemptively text Keith. I say, "Hey, no rush at all. If you want to record the podcast later, I'm cool with that."
Yeah.
I text him again at 10:30 just to be like, "Hey, I set up just in case you did wake up and like were like, oh no, I want to do this." I don't know, like I don't know how you are quite when you wake up or whatever.
Yeah,
so I was
yeah.
like, okay, I'll have everything set up just in case. Text Keith. He didn't text me back at 10:30. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm just gonna drink my coffee. I go to I actually, pardon me, go get my coffee. I went to Wawa, get my coffee, come back. Keith's like, dude, I just woke up. There's still crust all over my eyes.
You like that answer?
I loved that answer. I loved that answer because I felt it so
Oh
hard.
my god. No, well, I know, and I think I was a little over my head yesterday. You know, every time I drink, I'm always like, you know, I'm gonna be fine. Like I'm not even gonna get that donezo. And then all of a sudden, you know, it's 10 o'clock, and you're like, wow, we're pretty donezo right now. And then, you know, of course, after the stream, Allie was like so hyped up. Like she like hit that point where she was like ready to just like go. So then she was all hyped. She was like just talking, going all over. So we were up for a while last night. I don't even remember falling asleep. Eventually I just kind of closed my eyes and I went to bed saying to myself, I know I didn't set an alarm. I know I didn't, but I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll just wake up. And I did. I did actually wake up at like 7 a.m. with a dry mouth. So I had to get up, got some water. And when I got up, I felt terrible. I was like, I'm not going to be able to fall asleep. All of a sudden, I fell asleep and I woke up and it was like 11, I think, or 10:30 or something. And I was like, uh-oh, I got to check my phone. And I had a bunch of nice messages from Tabor saying, hey, man, whenever you're ready. I'm
They're
ready."
always pleasant. Like they're not
They always
intrusive
are.
texts. It's like, hey, like just letting you know, like this is today, but also like don't worry about it. Like it's not the end of the world.
Exactly.
I don't do anything ever. Like
Right. Hey, you know what? I appreciate the nice text for sure.
yeah,
Um,
it's good.
Real quick, I just wanted to bring it back to you. What was your coffee that you got today?
Oh yeah. I rolling with the same thing. I need to switch it up.
Really?
Now that I'm saying it, it's not because I don't like it. It's because that I'm just doing the same thing every time, and now I'm verbalizing it. I feel like I gotta change it up. But I went with the Colombian roast,
It's a
sugar,
goodie.
and half and half. Very.
And how much sugar do you normally put in it? Out of curiosity.
I try not to make it very sweet. Honestly, like I like it a little bitter.
Yeah,
It's
dude.
nice to have that as the beginning part of for your palate for the day. I feel like having that nice bitterness and like the coffee is just so good.
Yeah, dude. I have been dying for some Wawa coffee, honestly.
Yeah,
I mean, we have a Wawa right down the street. It's just, you know, in Florida, it's hot a lot. So most of the time, I want, you know, iced coffee. The only time I do drink hot coffee is throughout the week during work because we usually have our apartment pretty cold. every day because we both like it cold. And sometimes it's so cold in the house that I'm like wearing a hoodie and a hot coffee tastes good. But as soon as I walk outside, I'm like, oh my God, I need an iced in my mouth. So then I get an iced coffee.
Yeah. That's
And
that's a huge vibe, man.
yesterday I got a large cold brew from Dunkin'.
How
And
was that?
you know, it was delicious. And I'll tell you this now, especially in the beginning of the stream, for some reason, no matter the amount of coffee I drank yesterday, I never felt like fully like I don't want to say fully awake, but like I never felt like energized from the coffee.
Charged.
I
Yeah.
just felt like just kind of like normal
Yeah.
otherwise. Because, throughout the stream, this is going to sound really bad. I had a large cold brew. I had one of those Dunkin' like prepackaged drinks that
I saw that.
they
Yeah.
usually like hype me up for some reason. I don't know what they put in it. And I even had a 5-hour energy at some point during the
Dude,
day.
I remember you talking about that, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had a bunch of stuff and I think it did its job because I wasn't like falling asleep or anything. But like I'm saying now, I never felt like overcharged. Like sometimes I'll have that stuff. I'm like bouncing off the walls. I did not feel that yesterday, no matter what I had. So, hey, maybe my body's just used to some coffee. Who knows?
Is that a good thing or a bad thing? And also, yeah, it could be your body's used to the caffeine. Your caffeine intake is high. Like caffeine is like the same as in a way as like other drug. It is. It's a drug. It's the same as the other. Like THC is measured in milligrams. Like cocaine, this at the other. Like shit. It adds up, man.
It does. It adds up, and the more you drink it, the more you need. I mean, I feel. I mean, throughout the week, I'm pretty chill on the coffee. I usually only have like a couple cups and kind of just call it there. But like yesterday, I felt like I needed a lot. Hopefully this week, maybe I can just kind of bring my coffee intake down and kind of get like a nice normal level again. But it's just so good. I love drinking some coffee. It's a great time.
Not only is it good, but it's also like nice to have the time and like nice to like have like a cohesion with your
shout out Brett Brown if you're watching the stream.
A nice cohesion with your morning routine. Well, that's a double one. Cohesion in the morning routine.
Wow, morning routines. Yes, a new one coming out this year for sure.
What's your morning routine looking like these days?
You know what?
What a question.
That's a good one. That's a great question. You know what? I'm not happy. I'm not happy with my morning routine as of late. I'll tell you why. Because I'm doing the work at 9:00, and I usually start setting alarms from 8:00 on, and I'm like, okay, 8:30 is my cutoff, but then it's not. So then 8:45 rolls around, and I get up, I grab my laptop, I clock back into work. I put my laptop down, and then I continue to sleep until around 9:30, which is not good. And I'm trying terribly to get out of that. But, once I eventually do actually get up, I'll probably put a pot of coffee on. I'll grind up some beans because, we've always just been getting like the bag of beans and we just grind them up. Tastes so good. So fresh. It's amazing. But, grind them up, usually make some kind of breakfast. Usually I've been on a big cereal kick recently.
Okay. What's your cereal?
Well, I think I was telling you this one of the other podcasts. Big fan of Raisin Bran. I don't know.
Yeah. No, that's a solid one.
Lots of fiber, the raisins.
It's not sugary either. Like it's obviously like it's really good.
It's still really tasty, exactly. Currently right now we do have Cheerios though. So I've been eating some Cheerios with a little bit of almond milk. I don't like a lot of milk in my cereal. Allie thinks I'm so weird about it. But I just don't like soggy cereal. I don't like soggy cereal.
And then if you put less, you can like just eat from the bottom, and then the crunchy cereal from the top that hasn't been hit goes to the bottom.
Exactly. I'm so happy you understand.
Yeah, I understand.
Because
dude.
I feel so weird about it because Allie's like, you just eat dry cereal practically. I'm like, no, I put a little bit of milk in, just not a lot. I just like it.
Not a lot.
Because like once it gets to a certain sogginess, I can't eat it. I'm just like, this doesn't even look good. I don't want it.
Well, now that with that being said, there are certain cereals that like, okay, Captain Crunch. at least Captain Crunch peanut butter, you almost have to eat it soggy because if you eat it regular, it will cut the inside of your mouth like a motherfucker.
That is true. That is true. And I knew you were going to say that because they are really hard for some reason. Makes no sense why, but they are.
Yeah. Any grain-based cereal though, like Cheerios, Rice Chex, shit like that has to be crispy though. Like that's one where I'm just putting the minimum amount of milk physically possible.
Right. No, exactly. And that's what I do. And even like with the Raisin Bran, like, sometimes like those flakes are so hard, like they're a nice crunch, and then they get too soggy and they're just like flopping around, and it's just gross, man. I'm not about it.
It is.
But dude, that's pretty much my morning routine. I'll just get up, and once I get up at like 9:30 or so, and then after I eat breakfast and stuff, I'll usually you know what? Actually, I forgot a little bit about my morning routine. Throughout the week, I normally have my coffee and my cereal outside. I usually sit out on the balcony.
Ooh, that's so nice.
So nice. I usually put on like a nice YouTube video, usually like some kind of basketball video, just like, if there's big news or something going on, I'll watch something like that. Just kind of enjoy my breakfast, and I'll go inside, brush my teeth, get dressed, and I'll finally start grinding out some work after all that time. But how about you? What's your morning routine?
Well, I don't typically have to set alarms, which is a blessing, I would say, because I don't miss having to set like the 3 alarms to have to wake up.
Oh, I have to set so many. It's terrible.
Now, with that also being said, I have this knack for it's not even like a coincidence or like a once in a while thing. It happens every single time I set alarms. I never sleep till the alarm. I wake up 5 minutes before the alarm every single time. Every single time.
Really?
I guess it's my body clock. Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna one night be like, I'm gonna wake up at 6:07 tomorrow and like just see how it goes.
Set no alarms, but just mentally say that.
Yeah, exactly. Like mentally just put it out there and see if it works.
You should.
Just to see. See how mystical my powers. Maybe that's my superpower. All right, I'm gonna go on. Oh no. What were you gonna say?
No, I was just gonna say we all have that. We all have that magical power. My magical power is I can drive vans and big trucks. Me and Fish talk about this all the time. Fish's superpower, I don't know if it's pod appropriate, but he has one as well.
Can I throw his pod appropriate one on? He is the most brute strength of any human being on the planet.
That's true.
If no human was allowed to lift weights ever, Liam would be the world's strongest human, and I don't think it would be close.
Quick story about our friend Liam, otherwise known as Fish.
He will be on the pod eventually, and I hope he's like the highest recurring guest.
Oh yeah, for sure. I hope he comes on. But like those big like old TVs with like the big back, and like they were always so heavy, like the heaviest things you'd ever have to pick up in your life. Well, I remember we eventually got like a flat screen downstairs, and it was just time to get the old big box TV out of my basement. So this thing, I have 3 flights of stairs, basement all the way at the bottom, and he would have to go up 3 flights. I called Fish over to help me move it. Me and him were both going to tackle this thing. I'm upstairs, like opening the doors, getting it all ready. This guy comes marching this thing 2 hands all the way up the steps, not even breaking a sweat. I said, dude, I didn't want you to do it. I wanted to help you with it. And he went, no, I got it, dude. Why? I could have just helped you do it. There's no reason for you to take this thing on. Anyway, he has brute strength, and it's been proven time and time again.
Can I actually? We're going off on a tangent, but I'm very okay with this.
Okay.
Can I actually throw another brute strength story out there? It's not going to be as long, but so Travis Crane, our one of our great friends. Travis is in a wheelchair. Liam would, when Travis needed to be moved in and out of like a car or something, like he'll obviously scoot himself over and then like he'll disassemble the wheelchair or whatever and put it in the car. One time Travis needed to go into a house or something. I don't know if it was a house or like a restaurant or something. He needed to go up a few steps. Liam picked up Travis in his wheelchair, picked up the entire thing, brought him up the stairs, and put him down like it was nothing. That's Fish for you right there.
He is such a guy of respect. It is
Man,
insane.
ultimate man of respect.
Ultimate man of respect. And is
Now,
that a Keith Moffat coin term?
that is such a Keith Moffat coin term. Now, my favorite right now, Keith Moffat coin term is "you're an animal."
For doing something I probably asked to do.
Yeah, something the most like just simple task.
Yeah, like what was it recently? Oh, I had you send the pictures for the pod logo, and you sent 3 or 4 fantastic pictures, and my response back wasn't, "Hey, thanks, man, really appreciate it." You're
all
an
caps.
animal.
You're an animal. I like it was one of those things. I was actually laughing at that one. Like I was sitting in my kitchen, fucking laughing at it.
Cackling.
All right, let me get back to the morning routine.
Yes,
So,
please.
my morning routine at the moment is basically I get up and I usually get up around 8 or 9. I'm usually pretty good at getting up early. We've talked about this before. But I usually try to be like, within the first hour of me being up, I almost have to go to the gym. That's like my time period of the day where like I need to go or else I won't. And like it's
Right.
kind of like one of those things where it's like sitting there for 10 minutes on my phone and then I'm like, if I don't go right now, I'm not gonna go. So I go to the gym. Usually I come back and then I'll like make a protein shake or something, have lunch, sit down, listen to some music, catch up on the podcast for the day, spin some
Nice.
records maybe. Yeah.
Yes, dude. I love that you listen to so many records.
Oh yeah. That's
That's great,
just
Morale.
it's like I feel like it's a little more intimate way of listening to music, if that makes sense. Like I purchased the music from the artist and like it's now something that
Right.
I own.
Right. And it looks cool. I mean, it
Yeah.
looks awesome, you know? I mean, vinyls and all, I mean, they're, and they sound better.
Yeah.
You know, and they do.
It's-
Like, that's a proven, thing. Like, just the sound quality is just so much better than, on a CD or anything.
So let me tell you my favorite thing about listening on vinyl. You just pointed it out. It not only does it sound better, but there's times where you listen to a song on digital and the tempo or the speed of the song sounds different from what it actually is on vinyl. And then when you listen to it on vinyl, it's just like that microsecond difference. But it's just like the song sounds not completely different, but you can if you're an audiophile, you can definitely hear it.
Right. No, for sure. And I mean, music now, like with MP3 and all, I mean, those files are just so condensed now. It takes away a lot of the music. People don't realize. You're just so numb, you're used to hearing it now. But it really takes away a lot of like the frequencies that you'd be able to hear on vinyl that you can't through an MP3 or through CD or Spotify. I mean, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
And it's wild that everyone's so used to it. Like if you ask the average person, they wouldn't know that the music that they listen to on Spotify is not like a quote unquote highest quality version. Like you would just assume, oh, I'm listening to it on Spotify, it sounds great. But like you're listening to it, it had to be uploaded, it had to be like it had to be exported, it had to be condensed into an MP3 file. It was then like it's now being streamed by you. You're playing it on your iPhone speaker. Like there's so many things that's going through.
Right. Well, and like you said, every step it goes through, it loses quality. Every single time you like export it and then download it to somewhere and then download it again somewhere and just keep going, every single time it loses quality. It's just it's just inevitable and happens. But people don't really care. I mean, music today. I mean, me and my really good friend Drea, she's in Philly. She's a engineer. Man, I actually just lost my train of thought. That was bad. That was
good. I like that.
No, I was just gonna say, music is so compressed now. Like people don't realize it. It's so compressed because everyone wants everything as loud as possible. I mean, and I'm one of them. I'm no different. I love things blasting in my ears, but music is so compressed, which also again takes away quality. But no one cares. No one's saying anything. I mean, to the average listener, like you're saying, it sounds. This is the best quality I'm going to get, but can always be better. I mean, if you listen to a really good vinyl track, it should sound like the person is performing right in front of you.
Facts. I say that all the time. With the stereo setup we have in my basement, we have 2 big pillar speakers, so they have two of the fucking, I don't know what they're called, the circles. They have 2 like speakers in them.
Okay.
And then we have another speaker on top, and then we have a tweeter. and then there's two of those set up, and then on the other side there's just like two like smaller like box speakers. So it's like we have 4 speakers. It's a surround sound setup. Actually, I lied. We have 6 now, so it's even more.
Jeez.
Dude, when you stand right in the middle of the basement and a record's on, that is exactly what it is. It sounds like you're in the studio with the recording artist.
And that's how it should be.
And let me say another thing. This is like it very much ties this all together. I also have bootleg vinyls, and the bootleg vinyls are digital onto vinyl. It sounds so much different, and it's not even close.
Really?
You can hear how compressed it is.
Yeah, you can. And that's the thing. Like, if you listen to it back to back, I think the average, listener could hear the difference. But like, if you don't have that to compare, you have no idea.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, exactly. All said and done, the average listener is very much fed, in a way, lower quality music, which sucks.
It does stink. I mean, I would love like a really good record player and all, but I mean, for one, I don't have the space, and it's definitely an expensive hobby too. Yeah, I mean, vinyls aren't cheap.
But the best part about vinyls, honestly, is the thrill of chasing them. Like, you go to record stores, or you go to yard sales, stuff like that, and they're selling their Beatles collection or something. Oh, I'll give you $70 for all of them, like some shit like that. Like, it's the thrill of the hunt, man.
Hey, that's all part of it. I love it. I do, before I forget, I just want to give a little update on Lenny the Lime Tree.
Yes.
Yesterday, me and Allie noticed he has little like white buds coming from him. I actually just saw today they could actually be flowers coming from them. Apparently, lime trees can.
You think you'll be able to smoke them?
That would be crazy. All lime flavored flowers. No, but they're like these like little like white like buds that are like just starting to bloom, and I looked it up actually this morning, and it looks like they might just be some flowers that grow on these lime trees. So I'm curious to see what they are, and hopefully I have more of an update too the next time we do the pod, of course, next week. And we're just still waiting for our first lime. I'm sure it will happen. Still nervous about the growth of this tree.
The potential of it being like a 20-foot tree.
Yes, because someone was just over recently. I think it was actually TDN's girlfriend, and she was like, "Yeah, my parents have a lime tree, and it got really big, and it's in their backyard." And we were like, "Yeah." Well,
yeah.
I hope that doesn't happen to Lenny over here. I hope he stays a nice size, but still produces some limes, man. We don't need the biggest limes in the world. We just need some nice sized limes.
You should look up if you might be able to manipulate it so it stays smaller.
Yeah, right. Well, and I really think it's kind of like how, fish work. Like, they'll only get as big as the space, you allow. So we're kind of hoping that happens with the lime tree. Like, we do want to get like a decent sized pot for him to put in, so he can kind of grow. Like we don't want him to stay small. Like he can grow a little bit, of course.
Yeah, you don't want it to get root bound either. Like, you don't want a small little pot for him. It's going to be a tree.
Exactly. So we don't want a tree, but we don't want him really small. We want a nice medium-sized lime tree, that just produces some high-quality limes. High-quality limes from Lenny. That's all I'm looking for.
Oh my God, we need it. I love Lenny the Lime Tree.
Dude, I love it, and hopefully the logo makes it in today. On this podcast for sure.
Yeah, I can't wait. All the logos look so good.
It's crazy. We have all logos for all the segments, which is actually a good segue into our favorite segment. What, dude?
Huh?
What did you say?
What, dude?
So it was actually my turn. It was my turn for the what dude today. And I have one. I have one ready to go.
Can I say that I was when the podcast I clicked record today, I was like, I did not ask Keith if he had a what dude. So I was like in the middle of this trying to think of one if I needed to, but love to hear that you have one.
I have one. I found it this morning.
Okay, great.
Right as I woke up.
Love to hear that.
Right as I woke up. So, unlike yesterday, because we did a 12-hour stream, and unlike today, because we're recording the podcast, April 11th, 1954 is considered the least interesting day in history. April 11th, 1954, the most boring day ever.
Wow.
This is measured by some software developers, True Knowledge. There was only 2 noteworthy things that happened that day. And those 2 things were a soccer player named Jack Shufflebotham died, and Turkish academic named Abdullah Adalar was born. That's it.
Wow.
And I don't know who those 2 people are, and I apologize, but I don't know who they are. And that is it. April 11th, 1954, the most boring day in history ever.
That boring day is so interesting to me.
And that's a what, dude? You know, I read that and I said, what, dude?
That's all. That's what the segment should be. That's perfect.
Yep.
Yeah, that's insane, man.
I didn't know they could measure such a thing. But
Neither
I
did
mean,
I.
you know, I guess they truly just measure it, you know, just by what happened that day. What kind of events.
Yeah. Like I mean, I'm sure there was like deaths of sorts, but like maybe celebrity deaths and stuff like that. Like there wasn't anything happening that day. No big murderers making moves. I feel like the 50s and 60s were like insane times for serial killers, man. I mean, that's
70s too, I feel like.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Isn't it funny? Not to make this a murder pod, but isn't it crazy how there's really not like serial killers nowadays? Like there's no like obviously there's murders and they happen all the time and kidnappings and all that, but there's no like Ted Bundy's, you know, that are on the news every day where you're like, oh my god, I need to like learn the next update.
Yeah. I actually remember when we were really young, there was a serial killer in Atlanta, and I remember my mom was actually like not scared, but like she was like, oh shit, like this is serious. And then that's like I was when I was a kid. Like I cannot remember the last time there was like you said, the threat of like a serial killer. I think it has a large part to do with the technology. Like there's not only is there cameras everywhere, most people have a phone in their pocket, so most people are being geo or fucking
Geo-tracked and
geo-tracked satellites are tracking everyone all the time in a way. Like now, granted, you can not have these things, but like technology is so far advanced and records are so far advanced that like if you exist and you do something, it's likely that someone somewhere saw or noticed.
Exactly. And you know, as horrible as it is, you might be able to get away with like one murder without anyone seeing, but if you're considered a serial killer, you know, you're gonna mess up somewhere. You're gonna mess up, and even all of the great serial killers, I did put air quotes in there,
Yes,
because that's a very messed up sentence. But I mean, all of them messed up at some point. You know, they all got caught because they were sloppy, or they got too cocky, or they did something.
Usually, I feel like they just like do way too many. Like you could, not saying you could have like kick your feet up after the 8th one and not the 9th one, but like still like. But still, like you're in a position where like, oh, I'm in Mexico or whatever, and then like, oh, they're hiding away, and then they kill another person while they're down there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna attract even more heat. I don't know a specific case where that was, but like,
no, but you're right, and it's always so funny. Like you watch, like, you know, I'm a big fan of like the Netflix documentaries and stuff like that, like when they're about murders and all.
Same.
And it's always so funny. Like sometimes they literally just give themselves away. Like they're just like. You know, like they'll start sending like the cops messages and stuff, and it's like, why? What? Like you're getting away with this? Like just stop. Like
right?
Like you know, yeah, you got the murder done, and like you're saying, you could just
you
stop.
Got the murder done. The job's done.
The job is done. Like why go through all this? And you know, I guess it's just like that sick thrill for them. I don't know.
They live in a
but
different psychological world. Like,
exactly, and you do have to take that in consideration. But it's just such a strange thing.
I have something to bring up. I have actually two things to bring up. I don't know if you have anything more. We've been running for a minute now, but I like it. Let's
Yeah.
just keep going. I wanted to bring up number one. I wrote something down last night. I was pretty late while I wrote it down, and the pen wasn't working barely, but I did make out my writing.
Okay.
I wanted you to explain the story.
Okay.
You and Mr. John Macaluso.
Jeez.
Wait, if watch this end up being crazy, it went not you. No, I'm like certain that no, I'm like 99% certain you went to this. No.
Okay.
When you guys went to Connecticut and saw fucking Steve Wilco.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That was you,
got it.
right? Yeah, okay. Cool.
Yeah. It was four of us.
Drop that story on me.
Yeah, so me, John Macaluso, John Kraus, big, quote unquote trash TV type of people. That includes Jerry Springer, the Maury Show, and especially Steve Wilkos. Now, in my opinion, I like Steve Wilkos the best. I think that's the most like realistic type of things. And I do enjoy the fact that Steve actually tries to help them. It's not like Maury who just like blows their shit and does nothing else. It's not like Jerry Springer who instigates it more and more. Steve tries to help them out. So, one day we were like, you know what? We really want to go. We want to go to the Steve Wilkos show. Turns out tickets are free. You can literally go there for free. And it was me, John Kraus, John Macaluso, and Haley Cooper. And we all went to Connecticut. We drove 2.5 hours away. And we watched a live taping of Steve Wilkos. And the stories were insane. We had a couple cheater ones. We had someone who was accused of murder, which actually ties in with what we were just talking about.
It does.
Which is so crazy because, they always say, like, things on TV always look bigger, and it's true. Steve Wilkos' actual stage was so small. Like, it was insanely small. Like, on TV, you're like, it looks normal sized.
But it's all that camera work, man. They know all the angles and positions to put things in the camera lenses.
Mm-hmm. No,
it's crazy.
It is crazy, and you don't really get to appreciate it until you see it in person. But it was fun. I think my favorite thing about the Steve Wilkos show was the MC hype guy. They have this dude. He works for Jerry Springer, Maury, and Steve Wilkos, and he's the guy who hypes up the crowd. So, like, if you ever dude, it's awesome. Like, if you ever watch like Jerry Springer or any of those shows, and like you kind of like wondering, like, man, like I always thought this, like the crowd's always so like into it, exactly.
The crowd itself is an entire character of the show.
Exactly. No, exactly. And I hate to say this, those, in my opinion, are the biggest shows that got hit because of COVID. There's a lot of shows that can still run without the crowd and are still great, but those shows I struggle to watch without the crowd. Those are the ones that really get struggle. But no, this guy literally hypes you up for over an hour. Like, no lie. He has people dancing. He has like these like call and return type of things.
That's
like,
awesome.
You just go off for like an hour, and by the time you're done, you're like, let's go. Let's see some cheater people. You are not the father. Let's go. And you're like, hype. And he does a great job. I actually follow him on Instagram. His name is MCJ Hype or something.
That's cool.
And it was a great time. I would love to go. In fact, while we were there, we did snag some Jerry Springer tickets, but we just couldn't go. I think we all had work. It was just like short notice. But I would love to do it again sometime, hopefully when things do open up. It was a great time. If you ever get the opportunity, unfortunately, the air just came back on. If you ever get the opportunity to do it, I highly recommend it.
I would love next time you're up for like a time period where you have a little bit of time to do some shit. I would love to go get that group back together. We'd be going nuts.
I had no idea you were interested in doing something.
Oh yeah, I was interested in doing in the last one. I guess like it might have just fallen through or whatever.
Yeah,
it happens, man.
Hey, I'm so happy you asked.
Dude, I had that one so ready. I actually have one more thing, and then if you have anything to bring up, of course, you go for it. Okay, I actually was trying to think of the one that would apply to you. I know the one that applies to me.
Okay.
I was thinking of the fact that like so many names are like, okay, my name's obviously Jared.
Okay.
That's my actual name, not
Yes,
Tabor Ja.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately. So if you hear my name, you'll either say, oh, he got it from Jared, or oh, the guy from Subway. Like there's one of those like little stupid like famous attachments for pop culture or something that
Yeah.
attaches to someone's name for everything. Like Jenny and fucking the movie Forrest Gump.
Right. Right. No,
I was trying to think of one that applies to you. Is there one that like annoys you?
No, I don't know if I have an attachment, anything like that. I'm trying to even think. Well, I will say this. When I was in band, I played the drums. And back in band, I used to be called Keith Moon, who is the drummer for The Who, band from the 70s. His name's Keith Moon. So I get called Keith Moon. But that wasn't like a huge thing or anything. But that was just like a band, like a band
And that's
joke.
like almost a good one.
Yeah, I wasn't upset. Like he's an incredible drummer.
I'm talking about
love
ones
that.
where like I don't get like annoyed at that, but it's like, dude, come on, like
Yeah,
I've heard that a trillion times.
right. Or what's the guy from State Farm?
Jake from State Farm.
Jake.
Yeah, exactly.
Jake from State
Like,
Farm.
you can't have the name
Yeah.
Jake these days without being like, oh, Jake from State
Jake
Farm.
from-
We get
yeah.
it. It's overplayed. Like, come
Right.
on.
It was funny maybe the first 110 times, but now it's just,
exactly. It's-
I'm trying to think one for Keith. There's really not too many. Maybe
I
next week I'll be able to bring one.
I struggled to come up with one too. I literally thought of this days ago, and I was not obviously fucking sitting day and night, but like,
No. Just contemplating every
like,
day.
I kept it in the back of my mind. I couldn't think of anything.
Yeah. No,
Drop in the comments below what your annoying association is.
I love it. No, please do it. If you have like a name that's tied into like some kind of movie, especially a commercial, I feel like they're
Yeah.
the most annoying. Like
Oh yeah.
a commercial that is
Or
like kind of
just
popular.
a big pop culture reference. Like
Yeah.
something that everyone's like, oh fuck, like that. No, not fuck whoever. This is getting off the rails.
Jeez, this is hour 12
You
of the
know what we're
podcast.
saying. You know what
Yeah.
we're saying.
No, exactly. No, please do. I'd be interested. If you have an annoying name reference, something else, please let us know. And maybe you'll be able to make an appearance on the John Fa, the next podcast.
The Ja and Fa Pod.
Ha.
Dude, you got anything else, man?
Dude, that is it. I do just want to leave off on everyone, please enjoy our logos and our little segment pictures. Seriously, shout out Purple Moose. You did an amazing job.
Can't say thank you enough, Rael. They look spectacular. Like you said, without having given her anything to work with in terms of like the idea we wanted, she hit the exact idea we wanted. Like
Exactly.
literally, like
Yeah. No, and if you need any logos for any kind of projects you're doing, hit up Purple Moose. She does a great job. I've never been disappointed. She has done the artwork for the Morale Zone and now the John Fa Show. So
love it.
always kills it. Always kills it.
Dude, great morale today. This is like I feel like if like twins were separated at birth and one was put on the West Coast and one was put on the East Coast, one is the Morale Zone and then this other one is the John Fa Pod.
The John Fa Pod.
Yeah, man. All right, so is that it?
That's it.
Dude, it was a great time recording. Always a great time talking to you, man.
Of course.
We'll be back next week. Of course, anyone who's watching this knows, but tell your friends about us if you like it. Please rate us on anywhere you get podcasts. Appreciate the support. Appreciate everyone watching every week. If you're watching, if you're getting this far, love it.
Love it. Love it.
Everyone
Yeah.
take care. Keith, you got anything else?
No, I think we can just end it off on have a good one.
Have a good one, man.
I'll see you.
I'll see it.